How you guys and girls doing today? Temperature 918 here. In this video, I want to show y'all all the new custom spawn points at Boilers. Let's do it.
She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry. 50 dub, I even got it tatted on me. 81.
How y'all doing? Like I always say, I appreciate every single one of y'all stop my videos. Y'all join subscribers, viewers, y'all family, and I appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe and like. Also, make sure to check down at the social media below because that is where we get the clout through. Nice. Alrighty then, y'all. So I wanted to show y'all the new spawn points for the customs map. So the very first spawn point you're going to see when you spawn at Boilers. Now remember, these are all randomized. It's right here in this little miniature factory. It's the factory closest to checkpoint. You can spawn right here. Now whenever you spawn right here, my recommendation to y'all is like once you spawn right here, you have two places you can decide to check. You can come out here and hold this factory right here, or you can just go on ahead and turn around and do completely 360 and hold other spawn points out here, which I want to show y'all right now. So the next big spawn point, y'all, is like right by this huge green trailer right here. Now this spawn point is kind of dangerous because there's so many spots you can check and that you need to check whenever you decide to run up. So my recommendation for people who spawn at this green checkpoint right here, this is the factory. That's the very first checkpoint. The very first spawn point that we were at, by the way, right there. So my recommendation for those who spawn right here is to actually go all the way around and maybe get on top of the train tracks and watch the factory over there instead of trying to run up here, because then you have way more spawn points on this side and it's just dangerous and all. Alrighty then, y'all, and this one we all know and love is the good old checkpoint. Now this can be the safest spawn point depending on how you play it out. If you actually have the checkpoint key, you can actually go up inside of here and decide to just watch the windows until somebody comes through either hole in the wall or someone decides to try to run out to the open field right there to a gas station. So it can be safe in many ways that when people decide to peek these holes, they might not even think that you're in there, because if the door's closed and they can't see you, then you know, and you haven't shot them yet because they were peeking, they might just run on out in the open. That's an easy kill. I would also recommend that if you're not going to go in there and you want to check the spawn points faster, to run up to this white truck and just watch this hole in the wall right here, because as you know, the very first spawn point that we saw, which is actually this factory, people are going to be coming out of this, and like I said, the second one we checked, that green trailer down there, or you can decide to run all the way up to this hole right here. And this hole, I'm going to show y'all this other spawn point in a second, and you can check this spawn point to the far right. Also be careful, because people can actually get on top of this these steps right here and throw grenades into checkpoint, so be very careful for that. Make sure you're not standing out too far on the road so they can either get a headshot on you or get you with a nade. The fourth spawn point, y'all, that we have right here is this big factory that's actually to the very right of checkpoint once you spawn in. This is I'd say a pretty decent spawn, really depending on how you play it. What I would recommend you do is once you decide to run out of this factory door right at the beginning, is make sure you're checking to your right, because to your very right there's going to actually be a trailer park opening right there, or like, you know, one of those things, and people can actually sit there with maybe a scope that has an M4, an M4 with a scope on it, or you know, SKS, and they can actually camp you right there if they spawn in the other factory. And what I would recommend is most people like to lay down prone like right here and actually wait for people to spawn and either come out of the factory or decide to come out of the, you know, the green trailer all the way down there. I wouldn't recommend laying prone right in the open, because that's an easy way to get headshotted. What I would actually recommend you do is the moment you spawn inside of this factory is just run straight to your right and actually come up on top of this hill just like this. You can do one of two things. You can decide to come up the steps like I was telling y'all on the last tip, and you can come up here and actually be checking checkpoint on top of here. Like I said, if anybody's, you know, checking the green crate, or you know, you just want to chuck a grenade, maybe you can get lucky, someone's along the wall, it'll spook them, something like that, you can decide to actually run on over top here over to these mini tankers, and actually, you know, you have pretty good cover. If you decide to just crouch, you can crouch and take it slow. You'll be able to see if someone comes out at both entrances right here, and if someone's deciding to run up along the wall to go toward checkpoint. So that spawn right there, even though at the very beginning it doesn't look really good, you can actually cover a lot of ground if you move fast. Okay, y'all, this is the fifth, and in my opinion, let me know in the comments below what you think of this one, my least favorite spawn point on this map. You don't get this spawn a lot, I mean, for me anyway. Let me know if y'all get this, but this is right beside the factory that we were just talking about in the last spawn point. This is like right along the wall. Now you have multiple options on this one. You can just go guns blazing and say fuck it, and if you think that you spawned in fast, or actually turn a corner and try to fight the people in there, wouldn't recommend that though. Or you can actually just get on top of here and checkpoint like we did last time, or you know, actually you can just run straight over here and just decide to hide up into the tankers and just wait for someone to come out of either the factory or down at the green tanker. Like, it's just, the reason why this spawn point is so risky is because like you have so many people spawning in all directions, and like you're already everyone's like still repositioning, and like you're already just out in the open. So you know, if you do spawn here, I would recommend just trying to take cover in between these tankers or somewhere safe, so that way you know you can actually get used to where you are and attack from there. The sixth spawn point, y'all, that we're going to talk about has to be one of people's most favorite spawn points. This is actually inside the factory key factory. We talked about this factory earlier in a couple of my videos a couple months back. You actually have a tool thing you can search in here. You can actually go up there and search them green crates. Sometimes the checkpoint key will actually spawn on this scab or like under them or things like that. Like I said, the factory key will spawn in this locker. Just a quick reminder. You have multiple options that you can do. This spot is extremely hot, so you have to make sure that if you are going to stay in here that you got to take cover fast, because people are going to come from both directions. On top of that, people can actually be waiting for you to come out on top of that little trailer right there, or people could be watching the back door. So if I were you, I'd recommend trying to hide either behind one of these columns or going up high ground if you're going to hold it. If not, I would recommend just running straight out this entrance right here and going straight to your left, running straight to your left and trying to take train tracks and just making a whole loop around so you can survey the whole area. And the seventh and final spawn point, y'all, is right here. Now this spawn point, y'all, is iffy. Like this is not the factory that we were just in for the last one. This is actually the factory behind it. This is close to the ZB102 extraction, if I'm not mistaken. And you actually have multiple options right here, and you actually have really good cover. So what you can do when you spawn here is you can actually turn around, and people are going to be spawning down there by that green trailer that we were talking about at the very first or second spawn point. Now you can decide to cover this and actually wait for them to come up this wall right here if you want to. And my recommendation for most of y'all would be actually hopping on top of the train tracks like this and trying to either hug the wall or crouch and just be slow with it. From the train tracks, you can just run all the way down here, and like as you all can clearly see, we have like a whole bunch of view from the sides. We can see this factory, the one that we were just talking about, the factory key behind us. Over here, that's the factory right there we were just talking about, the one that you want to go out and just go right to the right. From here, you can actually go inside this trailer, and I've seen a lot of teams do this as well. Once you hop inside this trailer, just be careful that you're not out in the open, you're not too revealed. Decide to like peek. You can actually see a good portion of the inside of that factory right there. You can see if anybody's coming out of the trailer, out of this building right here, and see if anybody's gonna be coming up along the sides. You really have really good coverage in this spot. You just gotta be careful. Alright then, y'all, hope y'all did enjoy this video. I just wanted to give y'all this because I know a lot of people who are starting the game didn't know that the spawn points have changed, and these spawn points can be extremely confusing. And then on customs, if you just decide to spawn at boilers, there are like a lot of different angles you can be attacked from. So I just wanted to show y'all not only the spawn points, but I also wanted to show y'all if you do decide to spawn at those certain spawn points, exactly where you can go and like the best options for you to avoid death and get those kills. Hope y'all did enjoy this, and I will see all of y'all later. That was a fast transition, wasn't it? Wow.
Yamagini chain, rest in peace to my superior. Hermes link a feed a village in Liberia. TMZ taking pictures causing my hysteria.